This episode is presented to you by NFL Sunday Ticket, now on YouTube and YouTube TV. With NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube and YouTube TV, you can watch your favorite teams' out-of-market Sunday games, plus watch up to 4 games at once with Multiview. Don't miss the race to the playoffs. NFL Sunday Ticket is now just $39 when bundled with YouTube TV, where you get even more football. Visit youtube.com/Spotify offer to sign up now. Lowest price on YouTube TV with base plan. Rest of 2023 season. Terms and embargoes apply. No cancellations.
Introducing Royal Caribbean's newest ship, Icon of the Seas, the ultimate family vacation. The ultimate 6 slides, 8 neighborhoods, 0 compromise vacation. The ultimate never done that, can't wait to do it vacation. The ultimate chillin' by a different pool every day of the week vacation. This is the Icon of Vacations. Icon of the Seas, arriving in 2024. Book today. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. From your morning podcast to your afternoon playlist, State Farm knows you personalize your entire day, and that's why State Farm helps you personalize your insurance with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It offers coverage options that help protect what you care about most at an affordable price just for you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
'Tis the season to shine with H&M. Discover the holiday collection and find fashionable pieces for your wardrobe or for under the tree. Get inspired and dazzle with this year's glam. From tuxedo styles, bow detailed pieces, impressive prints, and more. From unforgettable looks to unforgettable gifts. With fashion finds to home decor, find it all at H&M. Treat your loved ones and yourself this season. Shop in-store or at hm.com.
Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another shade of blue. It is Shades of Blue After Dark. We're recording fresh after the 1-0 loss to the Portland Timbers. This episode is brought to you by Tim Melia's Self-Defense Dojo. Protect yourself from attackers, midfielders, and even defenders. Tim Melia's Self-Defense Dojo. Yellow when it should be red. Please subscribe, rate, and review the Blue Testament wherever you get your podcasts. Before we really get into it, David, I just want to check on David. You were already unhappy before the game started. He was sending sad face emojis right when the lineup came out. Early goal it got a little better, but how are you feeling about this? How do you want to start this game conversation?
Well, Sweat came out for the second half, so he's not getting Jose Maurid, which was my big question after that goal 6 minutes in. But, disappointed. We go out and sign all these guys. We sign a left back that we seemingly don't need, but maybe we do. We don't bother to go sign any center backs. We go out and sign a 6 because it's so important for us to have a 6. And then we didn't play anybody.
They did sign
and I understand fitness. I understand fitness had something to do with it, but it's very discouraging on match day 1 after a bad season to see the team roll out a lineup that had Khiry, Roger, and Ben Sweat.
Yeah, I knew you weren't going to like that. But the only one that I thought that I had maybe any issue with, or I thought was an odd call, would have been Khiry over Tzionis. At the moment, I've kind of assumed Roger was going to get the nod just from fitness and new guys moving in and all of that. But, I don't know. I don't like seeing Ben Sweat. I'm trying to like Ben Sweat. I went into this game trying to like him.
He's a nice guy.
He is a nice guy. He was a star of all of the preseason videos that the team was releasing. He's funny. I really want to like him. And then he gave up a goal pretty quickly.
It takes more than one guy to give up a goal, man.
Good schnoz too. But no, Ben played very poorly to start the game. The first 10, 15 minutes were really not great. And he got better as things went on. But it was a really ugly start.
It wasn't good for a couple people.
Yeah.
Robbie also had himself a shocker.
Exactly. We had some questions answered. We just didn't get the answers we wanted. You know, we have
for a second, Robbie was looking like he played for Austin and wanted to help St. Louis.
that was almost a mirror image of that goal earlier in the weekend. No, that was one of the questions about Robbie Voloder was we saw a lot of the potential. We saw good moments last year, but there were just some big moments exactly like that where he was susceptible to mistakes. And that was a big question is he going to be ready to cut those out? And he immediately answered that question. The same question could be asked of, or you could have asked that of Pulskamp coming into this. Obviously shown so many good moments. You can see why the team likes him, but then he also had some howlers, just individual moments that stood out. And was he ready to take the mantle from Tim Melia and cut those out? And that double save was absolutely brilliant. I tell you, as the official keeper hater of this show, that I appreciate good saves from keepers, and that was badass. I absolutely loved that. Both of those saves. Big Bear showing those paws. That was beautiful. But then he immediately let a ball go right through him, right underneath him. Now, I did see another replay. Might be a little harsh on him for that one. So yeah, I will concede on that a little bit. But the other, one of those other questions was about Ben Sweat. Like, we saw him finish the season pretty well last year, and like he did enough that it was like, all right, he's serviceable. And then he came out and had multiple bad moments, and his best moment was causing Jimmy Chara to hurt himself.
That was a good moment, yeah.
Yeah. Are we celebrating that?
No.
Okay.
I don't celebrate.
As many times as Charas have hacked Sporting players, why not?
I'm just saying that was his biggest.
Actually, I'm never gonna root for somebody to be permanently hurt, though. So I mean, I won't really do that. This is more just joking, but
no, not rooting for it. That was his biggest contribution to the match.
He didn't even get hacked. Didn't he just pop a hammy?
Right. That's what I mean. I said hurt himself. He just he made Jimmy Chara run fast enough that he tweaked something.
He Garrett bailed himself.
Was he carrying a golf club?
That would have been pretty cool. So let me give you the sales pitch real quick on why I don't want to see Roger starting. And it's not an anti-Roger thing. I like Roger. He was super cool.
It is literally an anti-Roger thing.
No. It's not, though. It's not. Because
okay.
I love Roger.
I'm listening. I'm open-minded.
I don't think Roger is a starter anymore. And the question is, how long can Roger go and be effective? And is there anybody else on the team who's more effective? Like, what are the different skill sets?
That's the first question. Is anyone else on the roster better or a step up? And I think at least tonight, for the first game going into this, I think that he probably was.
Well, it's, there's a question of skill sets being a little bit different. So Felipe has been Roger's sub for the last however many games, right? Typically when we sub off Roger, we sub in Felipe. Felipe has more attacking prowess in his time playing with the team formerly known as the Swope Park Rangers, forever SPR in my heart. Felipe played one of the dual eights, but almost more as a 10. Like he's played out on the wing. He's got more ability to attack. He's probably not quite the destroyer that Roger is, but I personally would rather see Felipe in bringing some of that attacking prowess for 60 minutes and then sub Roger in for the last 30 to kill off a game, or have at least fresh legs to bring something extra to the table rather than the inverse, which is what we got.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, and I don't even think Peter Vermes would disagree with anything you're saying, but you seem to be leaving out that the roster is designed that he isn't a starter, that they're missing a very key midfielder. There were other midfielders brought in that are likely not up to the game yet. And so, yeah, I think everything you said there, that probably is the vision and the plan for Roger when these players are fit and ready to go, and that likely is going to be his role. But if it's not, then yes, I think everyone would agree with you that if Roger Espinoza is starting every game, then there's a larger problem.
Well, yeah. I mean, if Radoja is healthy, our midfield is Tommy Voltaire, and Radoja.
No, Gotti Kinda.
But
See, I think you're forgetting players that are hurt. We're missing our 3 best players. There's my analysis of this.
I don't know.
Missing
Do you think Gotti Kinda is better than Eric Tommy or better than Remy Voltaire? Because I don't.
No, but those are the 3 I want to see out there.
I agree with you.
I think Gotti Kinda is the super sub for when Eric Tommy runs his legs off. When instead of making that sub and putting in who subbed in for Tommy, Tzionis. Instead of Tzionis, that's going to be Gotti Kinda's role. But as it stood tonight, and as it stands until Kinda's healthy and Radoja is healthy, I would rather see Felipe play. One of the things that we talk about is that Peter doesn't have trust in his young players, but how do you gain his trust if you don't get playing time? And so just invert the time, invert the minutes, give Felipe the start, let him play 60, sub in Roger. That's all I'm asking for.
I'm just not with you on that. I don't want to see have so much resting on Felipe right now for 60 minutes. That's not where I'm at with Felipe.
I'm going to chime in just a little bit. I don't think either one of you is quite right. I think Roger starts tonight because he's the best option for them to get a result tonight. The next game, if you have the same players healthy, it might be Felipe because Roger is going to be on 5 days or 6 days, whatever days of rest. And we know that Roger should not be starting every single game. Peter is not going to ever look at this as I need to get young guys playing time. He's going to look at who's going to get him the next win and the next win and the next win. So it made perfect sense to start Roger tonight, but it makes perfect sense to not start him the next game if you have the exact same players healthy.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was gonna say I shut you guys up for a second. That was odd.
I'm going deep into the comparisons between the two in terms of the analytics and their stats.
I know
it's just kind of interesting to look at because they're actually extremely similar.
I know I guess I'm going back to Kinda and Tommy. Tommy was great tonight, obviously. Not groundbreaking analytics there, but he looks like he's set to improve upon last year. And I know that they play the same role, but the idea of Gotti Kinda's creativity and Eric Tommy's creativity out there together excites me.
I think it'll be interesting if Kinda ever is back to being as healthy as we hope he will be. If the two of them on the field at the same time should be very entertaining, but that will require the 6 to be really, really good at that point. Well,
that does get us to another topic there. Remy Voltaire at the 6. That's a fine. He also played very well.
It's still early.
Warming up, preseason for all of us.
Probably the best guy on the field.
Yeah, he might have been.
Remy might have been man of the match.
Yeah. I mean, Eric Tommy, I guess I was kind of worried he got subbed out because he tweaked something. Was it just early fitness? He ran his brains out and they just made a move for some lively legs?
Actually, I asked that in the press conference, if it was more due to just that he wasn't 90 minutes fit. And Peter said something along the lines of, we were just looking to we were trying to bring in something different or add to it. He didn't really answer it other than they were just bringing in somebody. He didn't say he was tweaked or not fit. So
what else from the press conference that we should know that just ended?
This episode is brought to you by Google Pixel, the official fan phone of the NBA and WNBA. The new Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro are built different. How? Take the Audio Magic Eraser tool. It helps block out distracting crowd noise so your play-by-play commentary sounds crystal clear. The only phone engineered by Google brings out the audio you care about so your videos sound as crisp as they look. Learn more at googlestore.com/pixelnba. Audio Magic Eraser requires Google Photos app. May not work on all audio elements. Reboot your credit card with Apple Card, the credit card created by Apple. It gives you unlimited daily cash back that you can now choose to grow in a high-yield savings account that's built right into the Wallet app. Apply for Apple Card now in the Wallet app on iPhone and start growing your daily cash with savings today. Apple Card subject to credit approval. Savings is available to Apple Card owners subject to eligibility requirements. Savings accounts provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC. Terms apply.
Not a lot, honestly. I mean, this is one of those pressers where there's just not a lot to ask Peter because the team played pretty well and lost. So he's not mad. He's not angry at somebody. I mean, he said there was obviously couple mistakes at the beginning of the game, but after that, they played pretty well. They created chances. I tried to ask, it seems like to me, one of the problems was a lot of the balls to Willie, either they weren't finding him or that he wasn't doing much. He didn't get a good first touch when he did get it. So it just seems like he wasn't getting connected with very well, at least in the first half of the game. And he didn't do much with it after that. And we were trying things and stuff. He just didn't say much again in that. So.
Okay.
But it's just one of those, like, if you're not like the first person to ask him a question, which is usually overall, how did they play? You're not going to get a lot of answer because there's just not much to say today.
Thad, have you ever thought about going like way outside the box if you get the first question, and instead of saying like, how do you feel like they played today? Be like, what made you pick that pair of shoes? What made you choose to not wear your suit today?
Well, yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would not get the first question next time. Yeah.
That's so true.
Or maybe even the fifth question.
Maybe we get Cody on as a patsy.
I will say that majority of the time, the first question, as long as they're there, is the representative from the Star, unless there was a representative from the Star that annoyed Peter enough that they were no longer the first question out of the gate, and I usually was. So
we're number 2 on the pecking order. It's good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
I did want to
better
talk
than third.
I did want to talk about Peter's new fit, a new look tonight, a wardrobe change, and he still looked good. Wasn't the suit tonight, but yeah, I like the athletic jacket. He's always styling. Peter Vermes, always styling. Say what you want about him.
I think it's just because it was raining so much, right? I mean,
yeah, everybody looks cooler when they're squinting through the rain. Peter's got a good squint, a good look across the field.
He kind of has all the time, doesn't he?
Yes, a bit of a scowl.
Savarese might have won. Savarese might have won, but he looked worse in every way. Like, but the jacket with the scarf was not it.
His crazy eyes. He's got a lot of I don't know. There's a lot behind his eyes, a lot of emotion in there. And I also noticed he has a referee buffer, like a designated referee buffer, that when he's yelling and getting excited at a referee, the guy comes and just stands right in between them. So there's a body length in between the yelling, so he won't get a yellow card. Good move.
I mean, I think more teams need that. My favorite part of watching like basketball is seeing that there's always like one walk-on or guy at like the end of the NBA bench whose job is to hold everybody back after a cool play.
Yeah.
And I think soccer needs that.
It's the walk-on.
I think soccer needs that.
The walk-on at the end of the bench is always doing that.
Yeah, I think Sporting has had that too, though, with Khiry Shelton or Z. So
yeah, we didn't talk about Remy Voltaire enough there. Possible MVP for Sporting of the game. The reason we started talking about him was, Thad, you were saying we would need a really good 6 in order to see Tommy and Kinda on the field together. Is Remy Voltaire finally the answer? Is he going to show himself to be the answer at the 6 that Peter has been looking for since the last year or two of Ilie?
Man, I'm hoping Nemanja is the guy so that Voltaire can play the other 8 role. Yeah. Because I've been the one who has consistently said, I don't know if we'll ever see Kinda or if he'll ever be as good as he was.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that.
Until he shows, man. Until he shows, I'm having doubts.
You keep reminding me, and it keeps stabbing me every time you remind me of that. And he's just referring to the very serious injury that Gadi Kinda is going to be attempting to return to his former self after.
Yeah, and I wish him all the best. I hope he comes back as good as he was before. I worry about both him and Pulido coming back as good as they were before they got hurt.
Remy,
So that's
Remy,
it's just a fact of those type of injuries.
Remy is sneaky quick. He's kind of big. Like, he looks like he'd be a bit of a bruiser, but he's fast. Great recovery runs. He fills in the passing lanes. Yeah, he was all over it tonight. Who else?
Yeah, the quickie.
And what his skill set, the reason he's so much better at the 8 than the 6 is that, like, he doesn't have Ilya's passing range. So he's quick. He's good at jumping passing lanes. He had a bunch of interceptions tonight. I think 4 or 5 interceptions tonight. But he doesn't have the ability to kind of spray the ball all over the field like Ilya did. And so if Radoja has that, it makes our offense a lot more dangerous. Remy's very good. He's somewhat press resistant. He's good at progressing the ball forward. And he's like got a surprisingly decent shot. I think he hit a banger against Seattle a couple of years ago. He's more dangerous in the attack, I think, than certainly Roger is. So I think he's better as an 8 than as a 6. And if the team really wants to hit that peak, potential we had with Ilya, we need Radoja to be that player, to have that passing range.
So the early goal...
Yeah, we don't know if he does yet. Sorry.
The early goal was rough. I think the game got a little better after that. There were plenty of chances. Tommy had a double chance. Roger went up for... Roger have a couple headers? There was one, obviously, right by the bar. Agata had one at the buzzer there. That one hurt. So the chances were there, and some of them came from corner kicks. Like, we had open headers on corner kicks. We almost scored directly off of corner kicks, but the soccer gods simply are not ready to allow those things to happen for us. Maybe we're getting closer, though. We're inching closer, and we might see some corner kick goals this year. Agata had some good moments, but he disappeared in the second half. I'm not necessarily blaming him. I think there were some failures to get him the ball and get him involved. But, man, until that header in the 94th minute or whatever that was, it seemed like he had barely touched the ball in the second half, Thad.
I felt like he struggled to touch the ball the whole game, quite honestly, at least have an effective touch. His best chance was in the second half, though.
David, what did you think of Khiry once he was actually out there and on the field?
Are you trolling me?
Yes.
Are you trolling me? I can't tell.
Well, he wasn't
I thought
horrible.
He was very bad. I thought he was very bad. Now, I mean, like, Foot Mob and Who Scored disagree with me. They actually rated him fairly well.
And Max Bredos as well.
But I just don't get it. I don't see it. I don't understand.
Well, Max Bredos was saying it on the broadcast. He's never dangerous
moving forward.
No, he was not. But they were saying it on the broadcast. Everything that Peter Vermes, all the reasons why Peter Vermes likes him, and that he still is somehow getting on the field. There were a couple interceptions he had in the middle of the field. He knows where to be. He knows where to run, when to press, and he is able to fill the role in the machine of Peter Vermes.
He was part of the team that was helping restrict Evander from do stuff early in the game.
There you go. There's another one.
Wholly incapable of doing dangerous in the box. And when you have a forward who the ball just seems to skip right past his feet, kind of no matter where you put it.
I swear one time he moved his head back as to not hit it.
And
it was a dummy.
In about 10 years ago when we had Kai, we had a target winger, which was a wide player who would float in the middle and we could put corners on his head. And he was a set piece beast. Kyrie's a target winger in the sense of, like, he's playing the hold up from the wing, like he's still a target 9.
Yeah, I noticed
really weird,
that.
but,
I noticed that exact same thing. He wasn't fully switched over into winger mode. There was a bit of back to the goal, just doing some hold up play, like you said.
Well, and he did that a couple years ago when Pulido was healthy. That he was playing as like a target winger, like he's posting up fullbacks.
Mm-hmm.
and then we pass the ball to him, and then he doesn't have a clue what to do, and he's just a step slow in processing everything. He misses open passes because he's just not processing it. He misses open shots or open chances to shoot because he's not processing fast enough. His timing's off, or his depth perception is off, or something. I don't know if he's got contacts or LASIK or what, but he always seems to be just a little too soon on a jump, or a little short on like reaching for a ball that he should be able to get to. And it's scary to me that Willie Agata is our most dangerous forward in the air, and Khiry's like 6'4", and Willie Agata, Thad, how tall would you say he is? 5'8"?
About that, yeah.
You know, and who would you rather have going up for a header?
Yeah.
Well, we saw Willie out jump that center back tonight.
Yeah.
Roger did too.
True.
So I was assuming that Tzionis was coming in for Khiry. I was confused by the Tommy sub, but Tzionis came in and did pretty well. Now, I think Tzionis's legs move faster than his brain. Like, it looks like he doesn't have all full control of his legs, and they're kind of running without him, and they touch the ball before his brain was ready to do it. But it's always positive. It's always forward, right? I'm kind of thinking out loud here about my opinion of Tzionis, but it's always forward and exciting, I guess. But you can see why Vermes didn't give him the nod to start the game, I guess. They're still just, I don't know. It's fun and exciting.
There's too much.
Yes, help me here, Thad. Help me, please.
There's too much unpredictability with him.
Yeah, there you go.
With everybody else that was on the field, is what they're going to do, but so do their teammates. So even with Khiry, and a lot of the arguments you made are very valid, but you know what he's going to do, and you know how he's should do things. With Tzionis, man, he's very creative, but you just don't know where he's going to go. And I mean, the opponents don't either, but if you can't connect with your teammates a lot of times, he's a luckier Krause, like I think I've said on a previous podcast. He's kind of like Johan Krause, but a little bit luckier in how he does connect with people.
I'm not here to listen to you slander the Cypriot Messi and compare him to Johan Krause. We're just not going to do that, Thad. That's not cool.
Yeah, he doesn't compare to Johan because Johan has actually had better goals.
How many goals did Johan score?
One
doesn't matter.
One was a howler. I remember one specifically in the Open Cup.
Yeah, a couple of them.
That goal alone was good enough for me.
And how many games did he specifically cost us by that's trying to score from the middle of the pitch for no reason?
Probably as many as he helped them win.
Scared money don't make no money, guys. No, with Tzionis, of course his teammates don't know where he's going to go, because he doesn't look like he knows where he's going to go every single time.
But again, he's creative, he's unpredictable. If it's a 1-for-1 right now between him and Krause, I would take Tzionis because he's not as snake bit. But
what about it's not though. It's him versus Khiry at the moment. Who you starting versus Colorado?
Honestly, I would probably have started Tzionis, but I'm a little more of a risk taker, I guess.
I think collectively all of Kansas City just said, yes, me too. Like everyone would have preferred that.
And, most of the time I try to at least defend Khiry to a certain extent because he's such a good guy and he works so hard and he does a lot of things that are good. And I know people will roll their eyes at me saying that, but he was part of helping. Huh?
We're just an echo chamber towing the party line by talking about the things that Khiry does well.
But I also was yelling at him tonight when he got a ball like into perfectly good space. He had opportunity. Somebody was running down the middle. I could have made a pass that would have probably come close to connecting with the guy running, and he didn't make that pass. He waited until like three guys got around. It was probably Willie or somebody. And then he just waited, and then he didn't have anything to go with. So then he drifted outside with it, and then everything was dead. So it was just like, and he did it more than once tonight, but there was just once when it was in the second half, and I was just like, I was so frustrated at that point.
Yeah,
How-
I think the legend of Kyrie doing things, all the little things, needs to die.
He does a lot of the little things, not all of them.
When a couple years ago when he first
Some?
went out to play the 9, and he
46%,
when we set a record for
third,
goals,
quarter,
he was doing a really good job of moving
10%,
God damn it, that
5.5.
he was doing a really good job of moving center backs around and creating space that allowed Johnny and Daniel to run in behind. But he, like last year, wasn't doing that. He wasn't creating space. He wasn't getting guys, moving around, and he
Agreed.
dangerous. And so, that's even less important on the wing. Being able to, it's important to create space. It's important to move guys around. But the idea of like, I don't score, but I do all the little things is like more valuable in a target 9, like the traditional, like what you think of as like the English 9.
A Man City before they had actually a good forward.
I mean, yeah, they did have that Argentinian dude who was like, okay.
Before the Saudi money, I mean, the oil.
I just want to see what people would say.
Why was Voloder in the box with the ball so often? He it seemed like he had
Because they needed a goal?
It seemed like he had the ball at his feet an excessive amount. Like he was dribbling through lines, and like there were a couple times he was the outlet pass on the outside going into the box. It seemed weird. Like I don't recall him being like the guy that plays.
He did
with
that
the ball
last
at
year.
his feet.
He did that last year when he played some.
Okay.
He's Ike.
I guess
Ike
you're
would
right.
always have those like marauding runs. Remember I played the 1-2 give and go into the box like the year before we traded him.
Ike was like the best forward at times.
I guess you're right. I do recall this from last year now that I'm thinking about it. It just
because we talked to him about that. Like he scored a goal or had a good shot, and we asked him about it, and he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go for it." He liked to do that. And
yes, in our Tuesday training interviews, we had a good sit down with him. He's a good guy.
We saw him scoring goals in training, man, and he's got the ability.
Thad, let me ask you this. So in a game
4%.
In a game that Roger and Zusi both started, Eric Tommy was the captain. Do you find that interesting? Peculiar? Strange? Normal? Intriguing?
Well, if it wasn't Tommy, it would have been Johnny, who would still be a newer player than those two. So I think it's just looking to...
Yeah, you didn't ask that question. Why Johnny over Roger or Zusi?
Yeah. Why didn't you ask that question, man? Come on. I think it's just paying respect to somebody who's, showing that leadership. And Roger is such a good leader, but he's such a good leader by example. He's usually not the vocal guy.
Well,
I mean,
Zusi,
you'll see him yell once in a while.
Zusi too. Very much
lead
by example.
Sorry, I was trying to say Zeus was such a quiet guy. I missaid that, but Roger is not as vocal as a lot of other guys too. Tommy is that guy who's going to step up and lead a little bit more in that type of situation.
Yeah, Eric Tommy. I'm very excited for this.
I only ask because in the past, usually when Johnny would come off, he'd give the armband to Roger or Zusi. Yeah. So it's just interesting to see Tommy out there as the captain. I'm not complaining. I just thought it was interesting.
Who got the armband when he came off?
Ooh. Oh, I saw this. Oh crap. I did see who was wearing it. Now I can't remember.
Come on, Cody. You've got this.
I don't know.
Okay, there's probably 10 options.
I even consciously thought that. I even noticed it and thought it in my head. Now I can't remember. It might have been Zusi. It wasn't?
I don't know.
Okay. We'll do the research on that.
Who would if it wasn't because Roger was off, I mean if Zusi was still out there, could have been Voltaire.
Oh yes.
I mean that would be another option.
I think it was. Or maybe Fontes. Anyway,
Fontes would be a good option.
We're the absolute.
I like it. We're just gonna start speculating.
We're the absolute.
Maybe it could have been libeled. It could have been libeled.
Of asking questions.
Could have been, but that would be not likely. Unlikely libeled.
Boo.
Hey,
So, Cody, who was your man of the match?
I will go with Eric Tommy. Well, I mean,
And why?
is this for sporting or the actual man of the match?
Yeah, for Sporting.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going.
Although
I'm
for what it's
going
worth,
with
I
Tommy.
think we outplayed Portland, even though they scored the goal. I think Sporting was better the
Yeah.
entire match.
Yeah. I
every
agree.
stat except the one that counted.
Yep. Have you heard that before?
Yes, it sounds like
Yeah.
the same podcast we've been doing for 5 years now.
Thad, who was your man of the match?
Voltaire. You?
Mine was Pulskamp.
Okay.
He made, because it was not just the double save. He made that big save late also.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that one didn't matter. That would have changed the result.
The initial save on the double save was great, but the replay of the second save was the one that did it for me. He was diving, that bottom arm is stretching out to go wide, and he just gets it down to stop it, like right as it's going underneath him. Great save. See, I give credit when credit is due.
Thad, since Robert's not here to pick, you get to be Robert's proxy, who was the man of the match. But you have to pick as Robert. You don't get to pick as yourself.
Oh, this is good. Robert would he would pick somebody weird.
Tzionis.
No, I don't think he likes Tzionis. Robert's
another
nonsense.
comparison between Tzionis and Croizet is the color of hair now too.
And Robert hated Croizet too. No, Robert's
it's 'cause they have hair.
He's too no nonsense. Tzionis is out there having too much fun, going crazy. That's not his style.
I think he would have picked Voltaire
Yeah, he would have.
or Tommy. He would have picked one of those two.
All right.
I like this segment. I think this should be a new segment, Cody. I know
That's
I'm
funny
pitching
because
to
I
you
was
on air.
because I was just thinking that I didn't like that segment. But
What would the person who's not here pick?
yeah, I was like, I don't know. We just did that, and I was like, that was not good. We shouldn't have done that. That was dumb.
Well, we should just go down to everybody on the site and say who would have they picked. You know,
Who would Cheese Bro pick?
Yes, there we go. Who will the comment section enjoy?
It ain't easy being cheesy.
We're getting there. We're brainstorming on air for bits that we're gonna do.
because I haven't really went and looked, but I've seen people comment on fan social media, Facebook, Reddit, whatever, melting down already. It's the first game of the season. They've already lost. They're no better than before, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I am so.
Are we
here.
panicking yet? Is it time to panic?
I am so here for it all this week, ready for all the people overreacting to a 1-0 loss at Portland. I can't wait for all of it.
In the rain, on turf, with a weather delay, blah, 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 yada, yada.
Now,
One mistake.
Before this game was about to kick off, I was just very happy that this is back. I love the sport. I love this team. I'm ready for this. I'm here for the suffering should it come. And yeah, you know what? I'm ready for the angry Sporting KC fans online. I'm ready for it this year. At least it's back. We're bickering about real soccer from our boys again. 1-0 loss. I'm fine with it. Missing our 3 best players. That's my overall analysis of this game. Missing your 3 best players. Not good. Tough.
Yeah.
Which
Portland
3 is
was
that?
also missing their best players.
Okay, I'm not talking about Portland right now. Talking about Sporting. We're missing our 3 best players.
Who was their best 3?
I think he's giving Jimmy Chara a nod there just to make his argument.
No, not having Blanco, who maybe isn't.
They had their $10 million man out there. They debuted their $10 million
and I was
man.
actually pretty unimpressed with Evander.
Yeah. Same.
But they didn't have Dyron.
His first game though, right? Was that his first game?
Yeah.
With them?
First
So, I
game,
mean,
and he's not quite
little
up
slack.
to not quite up to the speed of Felipe Hernandez yet, who got around him and earned that yellow card. That was great.
No, it was Khiry who got the yellow, who got Evander's yet. Didn't Khiry get in front of him and Khiry got kicked by Evander and that's what the yellow was?
Khiry did draw a yellow from someone, but no, there was Felipe nudged it. He took a touch too far forward and and he lunged in at him and then just touched it out of his way and got barreled into. No,
But so
Okay.
the Timbers were missing their Cody Bradley Golden Boot winner, Dairon Asprilla. They were missing Blanco, who maybe isn't a starter, but is at least, like a pretty big impact player off the bench. And I think is still technically a designated player. Who else were they missing? They were missing Santiago Morena.
So still, all being equal, say both were missing their three best. 1-0 loss in Portland. Who cares? We could be the best team in the league, and you can still lose 1-0 in Portland on their fake field.
In the rain.
Next to a mountain of dirty snow. I was so confused what that was half the broadcast until the ball landed in it and they finally told me. I thought it was like mountain. They were like made fake mountains there or something to like look like Cascadia or something. I don't know.
You're really not adding to your like professional expertise level here, Cody.
No, I'm not. Timber Joey looked like he wasn't ready for the season yet. It was the first goal of the season, and he looked sad.
It wasn't Timber Joey.
Oh, what's his name?
It was Jim, the old one.
Oh, it was the OG.
It was the older guy. It wasn't the young guy.
Well, it didn't look like he was happy to be out there.
I mean, how exciting can that be?
Well, I don't know. It's got a chainsaw, but I don't scream or something. Look, it's some animation in your face a little bit. He was just out there like, cool.
I mean, Brisket Bob does better, but
did you guys see the content? Like when you in Apple TV, you would go to the game and they had like videos from both teams, like prepping for Portland, prepping for SKC, and then like some other little preview there. Did you watch the Portland Timbers one? They like made a little office.
Yep.
That was really good. Everyone should go back and watch that. It was pretty good. They made a little it was done in the style of The Office, and it was pretty good. Ours was just like
I will agree. That was pretty good.
Our preview like just kind of repurposed the kit release video and just added different audio to it. But I'm very interested in
from the presser.
I'm just very interested in all of the developments with Apple TV and just seeing the content that comes out there. And okay. David's a gotta go. He's given us the a gotta go sign. So let's wrap up here. I think we're going to do another pod this week. We are expecting a center back, hoping for a center back to come.
That's true. I do think it's actually going to happen.
Dad's got word from his inside sources.
I will very much say it's not a definitive, but I do have a good feeling about that one's actually happening. Danny Rosero.
Yes.
Colombian
Daniel Rosero. Gave it a little flair for you.
Thank you. I'm not good at that.
So yes, we're going to talk about that. I also I did want to talk more about Apple TV and MLS 360 and everyone's reaction to the first weekend of all of that. Expect another episode this week, but we wanted to get one in post game here. 1-0 loss, starting off the season on the bottom of the table, but it is Colorado on Saturday. So
and they will be Diego Rubio less.
Yes, no Rubio, which is always good to see. He's a pest and always seems to score against us.
At least contribute, yeah.
Okay, we will talk to you later this week. Sporting!
The other side don't seem so tough, and 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong and all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking.